latest. I'm joined here on set by International Affairs editor Philip Turle. Philip, what do you think then is on Jean-Noel Barrot's agenda here?
Well, it's, to put it frankly, Stuart, I think this is all a bit of a long shot, but you can't accuse the French of not trying to sort the situation out in the Gulf. Remember, France has been saying all the way down the line that they are just playing a defensive role in these conflicts. They are not going to get involved and be part of the offensive, either against Hezbollah in Lebanon or against Iran. So Jean-Noel Barrot is going to Beirut today. He's going to meet many leaders there from Lebanon. There are three things really on his agenda. The first one is, I think, the most important, to facilitate dialogue between Lebanon and Israel. That is something that the French really want to do. There is a plan afoot for them to invite both the Lebanese and the Israelis to Paris for talks to try to sort the situation out. And even France has been saying that it is going to push Lebanon to formally recognize Israel. So that is, I think, the top of the agenda negotiation tactic. But there are two other points on this agenda which are important for Jean-Noel Barrot. The second one is to back the Lebanese armed forces in the face of Hezbollah. They also would like to help the Lebanese armed forces disarm Hezbollah. Remember, it's the only faction in Lebanon which still is allowed to carry weapons, and also to help the Lebanese army take back the monopoly of arms control. And the third and final point is to protect the Lebanese people against the hardship that they are enduring due to these hits that Israel has been launching into Lebanon since the 2nd of March. There are humanitarian problems, a humanitarian crisis which is brewing. They want to triple aid for humanitarian support, up to about 60 tons, including hygiene kits, mattresses, lamps, and also a mobile medical unit. So all of this is going to be part of Jean-Noel Barrot's discussions today with the Lebanese authorities.
Doesn't seem to be much willingness shown by Israel, though, to come to the negotiating table, does there?
No, in a word, I think Israel believes that it's got more to gain on the ground still trying to obliterate Hezbollah than coming to the negotiating table with the Lebanese. We've seen a shifting of positions from the Israelis as to the parts of Lebanon that they are launching a limited ground offensive into. First of all, to the Litani River, which is the basic line between southern Lebanon and the northern part of Lebanon, where Israel has often made incursions in the past. They have pushed that up to the Zarani River, which is further north, telling people basically to move out of that area. We've had the town of Tyre, which has been evacuated, people moving further north to Sidon, ahead of what they presume will be another ground offensive by Israeli troops. There's been a limited ground offensive. What they're trying to do here is to eliminate key members of Hezbollah and to also try to undermine Hezbollah's support, its financial institutions, bomb buildings that Hezbollah was using. This is all part of the Israeli move to try to wipe out Hezbollah as quickly as possible. Now, there is a problem as far as the Lebanese government is concerned, because they have been trying hard to make the two sides come to the negotiating table independently of what France is doing today. As you said, no reply from Israel so far, but also no reply from the parliamentary speaker, Nabi Berri. Why is that important? Because he heads Amal, which is the other Shiite faction within this duel with Hezbollah. He has also so far refused to appoint a Shiite negotiator who would come to the committee that the president is trying to form to work out some kind of ceasefire agreement.
Philip, you talked about Israel's potential aim of Hezbollah's total destruction. I mean, realistically, is that possible?
Well, it depends who you talk to. I think if you're looking at it from the Israeli point of view, they've been trying for years to wipe out Hezbollah, with some success sometimes, no success at other times. And this is what appears to be happening now as part of Israel's efforts to not only get involved and try to enforce regime change in Iran. We've seen all these Iranian leaders who've been wiped out over the past few days. We've seen before what happened in the Gaza Strip to Hamas, which is an Iranian proxy. And this is why the Israelis are trying to wipe out Hezbollah, another Iranian proxy in Lebanon, which has constantly opened fire and attacked Israel from over its northern border. 968 people killed so far since this current wave of fighting took part or was started. 2,400 people wounded. So that is what Israel is trying to achieve here. But if you look at history, it's not sure that Israel is going to manage to wipe out Hezbollah as they would like to. Back in 1992, Abbas Musawi, who was the then leader of Hezbollah, he was killed by Israel. He was replaced by Hassan Nasrallah, who then managed to make Hezbollah the region's most powerful armed group. He also fought Israel to a stalemate back in 2006. He was then killed in 2024. He's been now replaced by Naim Qassem, who has launched this current wave of attacks against Israel since the start of this current campaign against Iran, which began on the 28th of February. So what we have here is Hezbollah coming back every time. If one of the leaders of Hezbollah is decapitated or killed, there is another leader waiting in the wings. It's almost the same situation that we're seeing in Iran, where efforts to try to wipe out the regime so far haven't managed to wipe out the regime. They've killed several leaders of the regime, including the supreme leader, but the regime is still in place. As far as Hezbollah is concerned, it's a bit the same thing. Hezbollah is weakened. It has been seeing a lot of its installations destroyed, but it is still a force to be reckoned with. And that is something I think that the Israelis are trying to take into account, but it's not easy.
Philip, thanks very much. Philip Turle, our International Affairs Editor here on France 24.